Alright, periods of ineligibility. Engineering Certification Reference Guide for the Railroad Administration, revised August 2017. Periods of ineligibility. 1999 final rule at additional period of revocation, so that it will take 4 instead of 3 separate individuals involved with a violation of one or more of the 241 17 operating rules before the longest period of the revocation is implemented. The period of revocation has been shortened, hence for the second of the offense of the period shortened to 1 of the year to 6 months, of the third offense of the period reduced to 5 years to 1 year. The occurrence of the fourth offense will trigger the 3-year revocation instead of the 5-year maximum time interval, which multiple offenses would trigger increase the stiffer periods of the revocation was reduced if the period of 2 years reduced from 3 years passes between the first and second offense. If the second offense for the revocation period is treated in the same way as the first offense, if the period of 3 years reduced from 5 years passes between the second and third offense of the third and fourth offense, this is later offenses will be treated in the same as the first offense. Revocation period schedule is based on a floating window. When the computing of the revocation period, review whether there were any of the other revocation incidents during a period 2 years or 3 years from one of the most recent incidents. In 1999, the final rule retroactively applied with the new shorter periods for the ineligibility most incidents that have occurred prior to January 7th, 2000. Revocation period 240 117 G. One person not currently certified date with the railroad's written determination most recently incident occurred 240 117 G. 2 person currently certified date with the railroad's notification of the denial of revocation. Revocation period with the both violation operating rule with the alcohol drug rules or period with the ineligibility should begin for the person not currently certified with the date with the railroad person determined if the most recent incident that has occurred. For a person currently certified on the date with the railroad notification recertification of the denial of the certification has been revoked to be determined according to the following standards. Continued revocation periods: 1 offense 30 days, 2 offense second offense within 2 years 6 months, third offense in 3 years 1 year, including alcohol and drug, fourth offense in 3 years alcohol and drug. For involvement with the violation, one or more of the operating rule of the practice described in the 240. One's of the E with the K for the single incident of the violation, one or more of the operating rule of the practice of the 240. One's of the E 1 through 5, the person shall have his or her certificate revoked with a period of the month, and with the railroad's option can be reduced to 15 days. In case of 2 separate incidents involved with the violation of one or more of the operating rule of the practice described in the 240. One's of the E 1 through 5 that occurred within 24 months with each other. The person shall have his or her certificate revoked with a period of 6 months. Railroad's option can be reduced to 3 months. Note, if the case of the second offense of the 24 month period back to the 30 days of the case of 3 separating incidents is involved with the violation one or more of the operating rule practice with the described in 240. 117 E 1 through 6 of the curve within 36 months of each other. The person shall have his or her certificate revoked for the period of 1 year. At the railroad's option can be reduced to 6 months. Revocation operation periods: 1 offense 30 days, 2 offense 6 months, 3 offenses in 3 years 1 year, 4th offense in 3 years 3 years. In the case of the 4 separate incidents involved with the violation of one or more of the operating rule practice with the described in the 240, 117 E through 1 through 6 with the curve within 36 months with each other, the person shall have his or her certificate revoked for a period of 3 years, no option to be reduced period. Were based on a currency violation described in 240, 117 E6 with a different period with an ineligibility may result with the provision with the 240, 117 240, 119 with the longest period. Revocation shall control. In today prior to effective date, reduced short periods with ineligibility of the incident occurred prior to January 7th, 2000. Involved violation 241 17 E 1 through 5 that did occur within the 5 years of the prior violation. 241 17 E 6 with the 219 101 alcohol drug evaluation. Incident prior to the effective date with the date prior ineligibility described by the paragraph shall reduce the short period with the ineligibility imposed with the 240 117 G 1 through 3 with the amendment with effective January 7th, 2000 for the incident that occurred prior to January 7th, 2000. The incident violation described in 240 117 E 1 through 5 did not occur within 16 months of the prior violation described in 240 117 E 6 of the 219 101 alcohol violation. Preamble to the 1999 final rule with its page 60 97 1 stated that the rule will apply with a new short period with the ineligible retroactively must with the incident that have occurred prior to January 7th, 2000. The rule will not retroactively apply with the new shorter revocation periods if the event was involved with the violation. 241 17 E6 with the most recently decertifiable event occurred within 5 years prior to the violation. 240 117 E6. Future eligibility to hold certificate eligible for the grant reinstatement early with the revocation was for 1 year or less. For other than violation 219-101, evaluated to designated supervised locomotive either received remedial training, completed mandatory training retraining program, completed at least one half of the ineligible period. Future of the eligibility hold certificate. A person whose certification has been divided revoked shall be eligible to grant reinstatement of the certificate prior to the expiration of the initial period of revocation only if now the revocation certification in accordance with the provision 241 of the G3 over the period of 1 year. 11. The certification denied revoked for the reason other than non-compliance with 219-101. The person has been evaluated as a designated supervisor, local engineer, determined to have received adequate remedial training. The person has successfully completed a mandatory program of training, retraining with determined to be necessary by the railroad prior to the return service. At least one half of the pertinent period of ineligibility specified in 241 of the G3 has elapsed. Validity of railroad decision prior to May 10, 1993 revision. Terminate railroad the 241-17I of the preclude the railroad is considered as prior to the incident of the revocation periods over the occurred with prior May 10, 1993 invoked violations would not be considered a violation over the interim final rule. Interim final rule, the FRA added the 240-117I of the resolve of the question of the concerned validity railroad decision made with the conformity with the provision 241-17E of the prior to May 10, 1993 revision. As a matter of fairness, of the violated under the previous wording of the instrument shall not have a further prospective effect with the certification status for the engineers. Part 241-17J with the I includes the purpose of the railroad consider these incident with the prior incident for the purpose of the period in eligibility. Not all prior railroads decisions are affected only in the incident. One would not be the violation under the revised rule. Two would occur prior to the effective date of the interim final rule of May 10, 1993. In general, the preclude for the future review for the signal violation if it involved with something other than a failure to hand halt the signal requiring an absolute stop over speed, but that includes maximum speed less than 10 miles an hour. Failure to adhere to the procedure for the safety use of the train brakes other than failures to make the federal required tests. For example, if an engineer decertified with the operating train at 23 miles an hour and 20 mile an hour speed restricted area, the certified revocation would be not counted at the first offense. However, if the speed had been 31 miles per hour and 20 mile an hour revocation, it would remain the first offense. Not prior incidents may not be only considered prior incidents if occurred prior to January 7, 2000 involved the signals or train speed under interim final rule, even though they were or could have been found to be violation under interim final rule would not be violation of 241-17E. Alright, not prior incident 241-117J with no event for the incident of the meet with the criteria 241-17J1 through 2 with the section considered as part of the incident with the purpose of the 241-17G3 periods of the NLG, even the trip of the incident could have been with validly determined to be violation of the time of the current incident, but those should be not considered under 241-17G3 as those are that occurred prior to January 7, 2000 involve violation of one or more of the following operating rules of the practice: failure to control the locomotive training in accordance with the signal indication required for the complete stopping for before it passes. 2. Failure to adhere to limitation concerning train speed with the speed with which the train was operated to exceed the maximum authorized limited with at least 10 miles an hour by more than one half of the authorized speed, whichever the less where could have been found with a violation under the section contained in the parts 2 and 39. Additions revised as of October 1st, 1999 would not be a violation. Paragraph E of the section. Periods ineligibility, alcohol, drugs, and 219-109. First violation 219, 9 months unless investigation is waived through co-worker report. Second, more violation 219-101, 5 years. Periods of ineligibility, alcohol, drug violation. Period of ineligibility described in the 240-119C with the 4, which shall be determined in accordance with the following standards. In the case of one violation of the 219-101 on the job, you the possession impairment of the person should be ineligible to hold the certificate of the period of 9 months unless identification of the violation was through qualifying co-worker as described in 219-405 with the engineer waiver the investigation, in which case if the certificate will shall be deemed as suspended with the during evaluation any required primary treatment is described in the 240-119D, and in the case of the two more violations of the 219-101, the person shall ineligible to hold the certificate for the period of 5 years. In the case of the refusal failure to provide with the breath and body fluid sample testing within the requirements of 219, when instructed to do so with the railroad representative with the refusal and failure shall be treated with the purpose of ineligibility under this paragraph, same with the manner of the 219-101. Say, case of refusal or failure to provide breath sample of subpart D with a blood specimen for the mandatory post-accident toxicological testing of subpart C. Alright, first violation, EPA, EAP violation. Second violation, 2 years. 3 years, third violation, 5 years. 21901 or 2190102, 3 years. Periods of ineligibility, alcohol, drug violation. Period ineligible described in this paragraph shall be determined in accordance with the following standards. Given the single violation of the 219-102, prohibition of the drug for the off due with the except of the approved of the medical use of the person shall have to be eligible to hold the certificate during invocation. Any of the required prior treatment is described in the 240-119D. In the case of the 2 violation of the 219-102, the person shall be ineligible to hold certificate for the period of 2 years. In case more than 2 violation of the 219-102, the person shall be ineligible to hold the certificate for the period of 5 years. In the case of 1 violation of the 219-102, with the 1 violation of the 219-101, with the person shall be ineligible to hold the certificate for the period of 3 years. In case of the refusal or failure to provide bath or body fluid sample of the testing under the certificate requirements of 219-1, instructed with the do so with the railroad representative refusal or failure should be treated for the purpose of being ineligible under the paragraph is the same in the manner as violation 219-102. In case of refusal and failure to provide urine specimen for testing. Prohibited conduct.